Um, like, okay, um, I don't know. I feel like I'm being tortured because I think there's like diuretics in my tortilla chips, and I ate some before I went to bed, and then in the middle of the night when I
Why
woke up,
did you eat some in the
because I
window?
thought they were okay, and then I woke up to pee, and then I ate some more,
Yeah.
and also I have a sore throat, but you were just coughing, so
Yeah. Yeah. I have a slight cold. I'm actually drinking some tea right now. Um, Usually happens around this time when I
I
wake
would
up. Where
love some tea. I can't find some tea that has not been like tainted with something, so I love some tea.
yeah. Yeah. Usually, I feel like a lot of people are kind of have slight cold around this time just because the weather is changing. I know I usually get sick around this time. Nothing major, just like a cough and a cold, and that's it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's too much because I read somewhere that if you're sick more than like 3 times a year, that means like you're not a very healthy person.
Yeah.
So I know I'm sick more than 3 times a year.
Yeah.
It's like all the time almost, but it's not even worth like what am I gonna do about it? What's a doctor gonna do about it?
Yeah. And how was your weekend? How was this weekend in New York? How was the weather?
Well, it's raining right now,
Oh, really?
so but
It's
it's
sunny.
fall. It's supposed to kind of be
Yeah.
raining.
Yeah. It's actually pretty sunny out here, but it's in the 70s. I think mid to high 70s here, so it's not bad. Yeah. And how are you? How are you feeling? You're just telling me about your tortilla chips and how you feel like you
Yeah,
don't
I feel
have
like
them.
I'm being tortured because I don't know, and I don't know what to do about it either. So I just didn't eat the tortilla chips anymore. The
Yeah,
bag's still sitting there for whatever reason. It's nice looking bag.
yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks because you spend money on these things, and if you can't eat them, that's a waste of money.
Exactly, and then you're like, what can I eat? What can my kid eat? And it's
Oh my god, not
you
this
know,
again.
and then if like you try to get help, it's like, who do you get help from? If people
Yeah,
are unfriendly towards you, which I happen to
yeah,
think is the case.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I meant to tell you, I spoke to one of my clients last week, and they did the same thing to her. The Medicaid, not Medicaid, the food stamp fraud that's going on.
Yeah.
Um, he experienced the same thing. I think it's going on. I think it's like a thing that it's like a fraud that's going on right now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I they put posters everywhere up at the
Oh,
welfare office, but
oh really?
just because it happens to other people, it doesn't make it better. you
Oh,
know, it's
oh,
more it's like kind of unsettling. Like, you know,
yeah. It doesn't definitely doesn't make it better, but yeah, I was just telling her, I was like, wow, I know someone who, just recently told me the same thing. So that's horrible. It's so bad.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I mostly took care of that, except like when I tried to get the money back, like I called the number to set up the fair hearings, and they told me that they set it up, but there's no date scheduled. And the
Yeah.
person that I was on the phone with, they were kind of curt with me, and they told me like there's nothing else I could do. That's it. It's up to them. They have to set up a date. So I'm just gonna sit here with like an indefinite, you know, fair hearing because they told me they do that when they don't set up a date.
Yeah.
And they just told me, oh, there's nothing else. I'm like, is there anywhere else I could call or anything else I could do? No. So I guess I'm not gonna call them back because I mean, I don't know. So I guess I'm not getting the money back, is what they're trying to tell me. I don't know because I don't know what I'm supposed to do to get the money back. Yeah. And oh, I had Somebody stole a toy from me that came in the mail, and they're always stealing something from me. But when I called the sender, they told me to get a police report. So I went to get a police report. Not like, they said the only way that we could refund it is if you get a police report. So it was kind of difficult to get the police report because I guess they don't want to deal with that. But I had a feeling that these weren't regular, like there was some sort of special police officers, because I went down to the station and the station was completely full, and just their general mannerisms were like they were aware of who I was and what was going on. And I talked to them briefly because, again, like, it's really difficult, like, to get, when people are on, I don't know, like, sometimes I think people are goddamn animals. Like, they walk around, they pretend that they work for justice system or whatever, but then, when it's, like, stressful for them, or they have to go out of their way to maintain this, even though that's what they get paid to do, like, they don't, like, they have a hard time doing it when, it's on somebody else's behalf, I don't know, maybe I'm, like, the odd one out because, easily, when people fit easily into some sort of category, it's easy to rally justice for their cause. But if it's just, like, an individual, it's like this. And then that kind of sickens me because I thought America was a place of individuals, because I don't like when people are too cliquey. They look like robots or freaking zombies or something, And I think it's like, lame enough that we're all people and we all have, functions that we could be easily controlled through. Like, basically we eat, we sleep, we reproduce, whatever, and we all have, like, the same, physiology, being that we're humans. But on top of that, like, people get, like, cliquey like this, and then, there's always, like, whenever you fill some form out, they're always asking you where or what you belong to, or some said garbage like that. And so I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't know. They weren't too devious. They weren't, and I filled out the police report. I have to get the number today. They told me they're probably going to throw it out because mail theft happens, I guess. But I need it. Maybe they'll give me my toy back,
Yeah.
Which is lame. Like, again, like, I'm just sitting here, like, waiting for some, like, big authoritarians to come in and say, oh, you're an evil person, Ilona Ramzanova, you're not feeding your child right or whatever, you're not teaching him or something. And, and it'll be like their righteous asses will have, like, evidence or something. But here I am trying to, like, get people to stop harassing me because I know it's FBI, and it's, like, to no avail. I guess I'm difficult to deal with, huh?
Yeah, that's unfortunate that they. So did they give you a hard time about, like?
No, not real. I mean, they give me like they're police. When do they not give you, like, a hard time? 'Cause,
yeah, that's kind of.
but they did fill they weren't, like, rude. They were decent, and they did fill the police report out.
Okay.
But like, I mean, it's mail theft or whatever. They asked me, like, 10 times if there's anything else I could do about it. But then they did fill it out. But, like, if I was to come in there and demand, like, hey, I demand, like, you investigate, like, my neighbors or something, I don't know what they would do in that case, And I just ran out of the house to do it real quick, and I left Patrick here with Dima, so I didn't want to get into it, basically. I don't know when will the point come where I will want to get into it, because I can't deal with it the way this is going. What else is news? They made me sign, like, that thing that you were talking about, that your mom or whoever did with the when they renovate the apartment, and I signed that already. So, but that's not happening until next year either, because honestly, like, I don't see like what neighborhood on earth could be worse at this point. So I'll just like, I would just like move out, whatever, and hope that, you know, something better will happen. You know, I'm not about like, you know, tearing like people apart, like, you know, whatever, but because I don't know. I'm thinking like if they are FBI agents, again, I'm like so risque with my conversation with you, then, you know, they are on some sort of payroll. They have to have been logged, and their whereabouts. I'm hoping, again, because this is a crazy country and sometimes it seems so disorganized, but I'm hoping that they were logged as being somewhere and investigating something while they were getting paid. And then, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's where I am, or if I move away from them and they move away from me, you know? So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. I see. Okay. My mom actually recently moved back to her apartment, so they renovated. They did.
How long did it take? Because they told me it takes 3 weeks maximum or something.
Really?
Yeah, that's what she told me. She says it's only gonna take. How long did they take with her? Because
So maybe it's a different program because my mom.
I don't know. I'm listening because, again, I think that, you know, this is all about torturing me or something, you know?
No, because my mom was in a new building for about a year because they completely got renovated her old building. Like, it was an older building, so it took over a year for her to move back. So maybe it's not exactly the same thing. Maybe it's a different.
She didn't put it in writing, but I don't see why she would lie. She told me it's like 2 or 3 weeks or something, and I think they're just doing like the floors or something like that. I don't even know, because the sad thing is that you'd have to like you have to wait until your lease is up. Like, that lease didn't start yet, even, where they're gonna, you know, like renovate everything. Because at first I got excited. I'm like, well, maybe this is like they pulled some strings or something and they're trying to cover up my neighbors, because I think I still know they're FBI, and they're trying to move everybody around or something, so it would like not make sense to, you know, really investigate, you know, because paperwork wise they could fire them and they could sign a non-disclosure agreement. I don't know, maybe I watch too much TV, but I heard there's a thing called non-disclosure agreement where they can't talk about what they did at work. So then, you know, the only means to investigate, and they could make me sign something where I'm not allowed to persecute them either. But, you know, if somebody was just to go, well, I heard this story, and then they were trying to follow like these persons, they would have a hard time because they all got Section 8 and moved somewhere elsewhere. That's how twisted my mind got. And I shouldn't have to get like that. The police should just go investigate this, because I don't really know enough for me to think like this. But then I'm like, that's going to be like next year. That's going to be after the lease starts. And then the lease has to end. The lease has to end with them for me to get the Section 8. And then I'd have to move out. And my kid, he deserves better. I don't know. This is some sort of stupid hell torture, and nobody's really being considerate towards me. So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm guessing maybe it's a different kind of program. But I mean, your building. I mean, I don't know about your building, but your apartment looks kind of nice. Like, my mom's apartment was like run down. The whole building was kind of run down, and it was pretty old. So they got renovated, everything, and it took them at least a year. My mom just recently moved back, so maybe it's a different kind of program. Maybe it's not the same thing.
I'm very happy for this program. This program sounds, because I looked into it, it sounds really good. It sounds good for the neighborhood. It sounds good for people. because they're trying to decentralize poverty or whatever they're saying is, and they're using like the deal to make the renovations to generate money for the renovations, which sounds great, but I just, oh my god, why can't they do this faster? Like if they told me like next week go,
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, go, I'll be back, because you know, my kid is getting so big, he's gonna be 9.
Yeah. Wow. That's
So
crazy.
I don't know.
But it's not just you, right? It's everybody. They renovating everybody's apartment.
Yeah,
right?
but they couldn't give a rat's ass, because I swear to God, they're FBI agents.
No. Because cause, I mean, I understand if they were just targeting your apartment, your apartment.
I mean, the whole building does need repairs, but they have elsewheres to go, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, and I do
So-
not.
Yeah, because in my mom's, it was everybody that had to move out. It was not just her. They renovated the whole building. So, yeah. So, I mean, I'll be suspicious and cautious if it was just you, but it's the whole building. It's like a program that's going on.
No, that's what I'm saying. The program is a nice idea. It's just when she told me it's like in 2025 that like these people will be getting like Section 8 and I'll be getting Section 8, I went, wow, that's not what, you know, that's almost like not even concerning me. But then every year I'm like this. Every year I'm like, oh, next year seems like, you know, like a galaxy away or something. And then next year just comes, because I just can't imagine living like a whole nother year like the way we've been living, you know? And I just can't imagine it. But now my kid's turning 9, and like I don't know who to get pushy with, and like I don't know, you know, what to do even.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit complicated, but overall, I think it's good. I think it's a good program. I think everybody deserves decent living. So.
At first, I'm telling you, like at first I was excited, but when she told me 2025, it's almost like, oh, I don't even care.
Yeah, it is kind of far. Cause yeah, it's kind of far from now. But hey, I mean, at least they are trying to incorporate something. So yeah, I think that's a positive thing.
I hope I get out of here before then.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I make like tight friends or something, or the police like help me or something like that. I hope I get out of this before then.
Yeah. How long have you been living there for now?
Since I think either 2015 or 2016. It should be on my lease. I should look.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the Bronx was not that great either. You know what? To be honest with you, because those people were coming into my homeless shelter too. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were coming into like my I don't know what you call it when it's in a homeless shelter, like my room, and they
Yeah.
were breaking things in there. And I actually called the cops on them once too,
Yeah.
and they just kind of were dismissive or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Because the guy that worked there, like the garbage guy, so it's like better and worse, like this surveillance wise, because they had active cameras on in the homeless shelter, and they had them on every floor. So every time they went into my apartment, if the camera happened to just be out, that would be too coincidental, you know, because they had those cameras, so people don't do that, you know. But on the other hand, you know what? It was disgusting there. I couldn't have an air conditioner. We didn't have internet. We didn't have a TV. And, you know, what was I going to say? The janitor that worked there, like one time I took my garbage out and he put my garbage right back in my room. Isn't that nasty and childish?
Wow.
Like, I swear to God, like I've been through the worst, like, time in my life. Like, I'm just sitting here, how nasty and how childish, and what have I learned about these people that I could use against them? Because it's almost like they have issues, like they have emotional issues, and they were waiting for me, their scapegoat, you know. And it's that because that's nasty and childish. You take my garbage that I put outside and you take it back into my room.
Yeah. Were there any rules about garbage or collection time or something?
No,
Like,
no, he just felt like doing it. He just felt like doing it. He's like a loser, like
yeah,
a
that's,
middle-aged loser.
yeah, that's dumb. Yeah. That's unacceptable, I think.
That's just like one thing. Then like they broke like my bowl that I got at the Dollar Tree or something, and I swear they put bugs in there too. You know, and it's just it was sick and stupid. And half those people, like imagine like that whole homeless shelter was full of people that got, and I tried to get like a doctor's excuse too, like like whatever. I was like, I'm gonna fake whatever I can. I said like I had heart like problems or whatever, because it's disgusting sitting there with no air conditioning. Like my kid was getting a rash. No matter how many times I washed him, I put powder on him, or like just from sitting there he would get a rash. Half those people, they had air conditioners in there, which means half those people had medical excuses to have an air conditioner in their room, and they wouldn't give me one. So like I feel like that's man, people just don't like me. They just feel like torturing me, you know, and it's just disgusting.
Yeah. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, I heard about people not being allowed to have air conditioners unless you have asthma or some type of condition or something that they'll allow you to have.
But they have like a statistic on asthma, even for people that live in homeless shelters, and it's not that high. That like most of these people had air conditioners, you know, and I'm like the only healthy one or whatnot.
Yeah.
Ugh, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But what do you have planned for the rest of the day, and how is Patrick doing with homeschooling?
Well, I'm gonna call to get the police report number, and then we're gonna start homeschooling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because right now he's just like watching cartoons.
Yeah, not bad. Well, yeah. Well, try to enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll follow up with you next week.
Okay, take care.
All right. Bye.